Hi Pisces, welcome to AshunasTarot. I went ahead and pre-shuffled and laid out the spread and connected to spirits. If you would like a private reading, all the information is in the description box below. Make sure to include your name, your questions, and your birthday. Let's go ahead and get started, Pisces. The Hangman in the reverse is the general energy for this reading. We have the Nine of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Devil, the Moon, the Seven of Wands in the reverse, and the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, so straight up Pisces, you're getting out of a cycle of waiting, okay, and being patient, and things being put on hold for you. Like this waiting game kind of energy, the lesson of patience, it's coming to an end. Like obviously you're gonna take your lessons with you everywhere you go. Patience is very important and it's key, but the waiting game is over, okay? Like and again, I've done many readings, and it feels like a continuation of that. This month of March is a big climax, is a big culmination, where not a lot of cycles, like a major cycle is coming to an end, and it's taking you straight into a different cycle in your life. And so what this means is that if you've been in the trenches, if you've been sitting out, you know, for a while, if you felt like spirit kind of sat you down every time you wanted to go and try new things, and you felt like you were kind of like spirit was keeping you on the sidelines to help you learn patience, or to help you go through your lessons, or you know, again, it like the wait wasn't punishment, the wait was preparation. This message came in the last reading. And so the Hangman coming up as the first card here is that season of waiting, that lesson of patience. Again, patience is always going to be applicable, but the season of waiting is coming to an end, okay? And so what I'm getting here with the Nine of Wands, and again, Nine of Wands came up straight up in the last 3 readings I did. So it feels like a continuation. The reason some cards continue to pop up is because it's a continuation of the energy. We're working through the energy in the transitional period to the next energy. And so this Nine of Wands is coming up again, but it's coming up a little bit different. It's coming up as the final push. What is that final push? What is that final thing you have to do to get to the Queen of Pentacles? Because again, you're being released from the waiting period, from the waiting cycle in your life, and there's a final push to get to the Queen of Pentacles. We go from the 9 to the Queen. 9 is the conclusion, is the ending of whatever this waiting cycle has been in your life, okay? So there's one final push, one last thing that you have to do to get from the 9 to the Queen of Pentacles. And so for the Nine of Wands, I do want to read something out of the book, because this card, I just did 3 readings before this one, and the Nine of Wands showed up. It showed up in the reverse, it showed up in the upright, but it just, like, it's here, it's present. I've pre-shuffled, but the reason some cards will continue to show up is because the energy is still very present. There's still a continuation from that energy, and it's still a key factor. And so with the Nine of Wands, it talks about determination, resilience, defiance, a last defense, the final push, excitement for what's to come, finding motivation in the face of difficulties. 9 is the number before the 10, okay? Is the conclusion before, 10 is the ending to get to the Queen. So there is a step here from this energy that you've been at, right? In like holding it down, holding down the fort for a long time, to finally getting to the Queen status, the Queen of Pentacles, having it manifest into your reality, having it materialize. And so this is very important, Pisces, because you go from the 9 to the Queen, okay? And you're leaving behind the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, this has to do with your material realms, with your material world, with your money, with your resources, with your connections, with your work, whatever that is for you. This 5 of Pentacles is that feeling of scarcity, this feeling of lack, feeling left out in the cold. And so this is the energy that is being left behind. So 9 to Queen. Don't give up now. You're almost there. As you round the corner towards success, something may surface that threatens your feelings of security, okay? 5 of Pentacles. And achievement. It's important to remember how far you've come. Don't see this minor deceleration as a symbol of failure. Step into your resilient last stand. One final push to complete this task, and tomorrow, stunning light, you can rest. We go from the 9, having to hold it down, to the Queen, sitting on your throne. This is a major transition, Pisces, because this is the materialization and the manifestation of what you've been at for such a long time. This waiting game, this having to hold it down, having to hold the fort down for such a long time. And again, it's the Wounded Warrior card. It's being exhausted of being exhausted, being tired of having to hold it down, being tired of being told, sit down, wait for your turn. And again, I've done a reading that really touches on this energy. If you feel like, if you resonate with this energy and you feel like this is your reading, I just did a reading about this, because it feels like it was some kind of like a waiting period like a lesson of patience in your life that might have been a couple years long, a couple months long, but very, very intense, and it felt like it was prolonged. Like anytime you were about to reach the finish line was just pushed out, okay? But here, it's the final push from the 9 to the Queen. And so it says here, in shadow, this card suggests that you are making things harder than necessary or being overly defensive. You may even be inadvertently choosing the more difficult path because you believe on some level that healing and ascension should be difficult. Sometimes we become somewhat enamored with our stories of rising up that our own shadow becomes romantic notions that we seek to defend. Let go of any ideas you have about navigating specific lessons on the path. Your time to relax into security and success, the Queen of Pentacles. Literally, this is exactly what's happening. We go from the 5 of Pentacles, the lack, the scarcity, not feeling safe, 9 of Wands, having to hold it down, to finally reaching the Queen of Pentacles. I love when this happens because it's so straight up. Like, this is exactly what the 9 of Wands is talking about. Your time to relax into security and success is on the horizon. It's that final push. I push beyond my own perceived limitations and I remain open and trusting as I do. What is this final push for you, Pisces? Because you're already there. This cycle of waiting, this cycle of being suspended in midair, this cycle of being told to sit down to wait for your turn is over. There's a resilient one last stand, like one last push to get to the Queen. And so the only challenge that I'm seeing here, the only obstacle that I am seeing is the devil. And the devil can be limiting beliefs. The devil can be contracts, ties, negative voices. The devil can be addictions, okay? And addictions can be anything, okay? It can even be an addiction to social media. It can be an addiction to TV. It can be an addiction to escaping. It can be an addiction to, sometimes we even get addicted to the process of healing and the process of suffering. It's weird. There's a little bit of like a dark twist in there. But addictions can be anything, Pisces. And so the only challenge that I'm seeing here between the 9 of Wands to the Queen of Pentacles is this devil, okay? And the devil is what's kept you, if you resonate with this reading, in this 5 of Pentacles energy, okay? Feeling left out in the cold, feeling the scarcity, the lack, not feeling safe within yourself. And so this is the last stand. This is the last push. What is that devil for you? What is that challenge? What is that last push that you have to do, that you have to make to get to the Queen of Pentacles? Because again, it's literally right here, from the 9 to the Queen. The only challenge is the devil. And the devil, if you don't necessarily know exactly what the devil is in your life, like if it's a person, if it's an environment, if it's a habit, an addiction, a limiting belief, whatever that is for you, it's what's kept you in scarcity and lack. Okay? Did you try it once or twice or 5 times and it didn't work out in the past? Like, what was that for you? Okay? Because identifying this devil in your life is going to allow you to surrender. Because with this devil and the 9 of Wands, there's a lot of resistance and it creates friction in your path. Because literally, it's one step to the Queen of Pentacles, okay? From having to hold it down to finally sitting in your throne and resting in security, in your accomplishments. And so this surrender gets you out of the devil. Okay? Because it's like, yes, sometimes you can feel underwater. Sometimes you can feel like you're kind of digging the hole deeper, right? Because we try and figure it out, we try and see and have, 10 steps ahead of us planned, but sometimes the only thing illuminating us is the moon. And we can't see that far ahead. Maybe we can't even see in front of us. And that's what requires this surrender process to happen. And so what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling with this energy, Pisces, is that as you surrender, the path clears in front of you. Because you're literally one step from the 9 to the Queen. From having to hold it down to finally resting in your success. So this surrender is what clears that resistance, Pisces. Again, identify what that devil is in your life. Okay, is it an addiction? Is it a bad habit? Is it an environment? Is it your limiting thoughts? Is it experiences in the past? Is it the negative voices? Is it people around you? What is that devil for you? And again, not trying to figure out 10 steps ahead of you right now. Maybe some of you can't even see in front of you just yet because you're in a new cycle. But the key information here, Pisces, is that this cycle of waiting and patience is coming to an end officially, okay? It's officially coming to an end. And so as you surrender, you release the resistance and that allows you to come into this Queen of Pentacles energy. So the only thing that I will say, Pisces, is that this is already happening. This Queen of Pentacles energy is already happening. And what's going to be most important in that energy for you, and this is why the Seven of Wands is in the reverse, is your boundaries. Because that energy of fruitfulness, of abundance, of prosperity, of making it in life is contagious, okay? You know, that's why they say you know who your real friends are when you're going through the challenges, because people are not going to want to be around. But when you made it, when you have everything going for you, everybody wants to be around you, right? And so that is true. It is correct, Pisces. And so you are coming into this Queen of Pentacles energy. Again, don't try and figure out 10 steps ahead of you just yet. Surrender, because as you surrender, you release the resistance, and that allows this transition from the Nine of Wands to the Queen of Pentacles. That's literally what does it, okay? It's identifying what the devil is for you, because the devil is a challenge, but it's also releasing the resistance, and that allows you a very swift, smooth transition into the Queen of Pentacles, okay? Because the devil is here, okay? From the Nine to the Queen, there's nothing in between here, okay? The devil's on the side, okay? It might even be something subconscious or subliminal. What is that for you, okay? Identifying that is going to help you get out of the devil's hold, okay? Because here, he has this light being under ties, you know, and that's what's keeping her in this dark room, you know, with her head down, in this feeling of lack and scarcity, and focusing too much on what she doesn't have. Okay, that's what the devil will do. That's the kind of energy. Again, it's not the main focus. Okay, this just feels like a side note kind of energy. The important part here to do is to release, because here it's like you're so used to holding it down and having to battle and things being harder than they have to be. Like, you've had to experience that. But the transition from the Nine to the Queen of Pentacles is the Moon, the surrender. Because as you surrender, because again, the only thing illuminating you right now is the moonlight, so you can't even see that far ahead. Some of you may not even be able to see in front of you. Just know that the next step in your path, if you feel like you've been in this Nine of Wands energy, and this Hangman energy, just know that the next step in your life is the Queen of Pentacles. From having to hold it down and fight these battles to finally resting in your abundance, in your prosperity, okay? And once you're here, it's not like the challenges go away, Pisces. Once you're here, it's not like you have to be in warrior mode, but you do have to have your boundaries up. Because this energy is gonna always, the thing is, like, once we defeat the devils in our life, like, it could be many different kinds of lessons, many different kinds of environments and people and thoughts. Just know that once we defeat it, it's no longer a challenge to us, but it's always gonna be there in the background, right? It's always gonna want to test us, right? In moments of weakness, in moments of doubt, it's always gonna just try and poke its head and try and test us, right? Even though you've already overcome it, just have in mind that this energy's, you know, these kinds of energies gravitate towards the light because they come from the darkness. They can't produce that light for themselves, okay? Whether this is people, whether this is situations, negative thoughts, addictions, whatever that is, okay? They prey on the light, okay? And so you are coming into this Queen of Pentacles energy. Just know that. And it's not that you have to plan 10 steps ahead of you. Just know that through that process, your boundaries have to be strong, or else you're going to be faced with these challenges again. Okay, because you're already overcoming them. The only thing that I see here from the Nine to the Queen is surrendering, okay? Because right here, you're in resistance. You're holding it down. Here, you're allowing yourself to surrender and allowing the Moon to illuminate you and the path ahead of you, because right now you may not be able to see it all. But just know that this is what's in front of you. This is the next step on your path. Queen of Pentacles. And being in that energy is going to require you to have these strong foundations and boundaries, so that these kinds of energies cannot feed on that or prey on that, because it'll leave you feeling in lack, okay? And this is where you're coming from, okay? So this is past energy. You're already familiar with what this energy is, what this archetype is, whether it's a limiting beliefs, limiting thoughts, environments, people around you. This is what it makes you feel like, okay? And so it's pretty straightforward, Pisces. You're getting out of this waiting cycle, out of this waiting period in your life. Things are finally starting to happen for you, and you're going from this Nine of Wands energy, having to hold it down for such a long time, straight into the Queen of Pentacles. The transition from here to here is surrender. Once you're in the Queen of Pentacles, the most important part of it is to have your boundaries strong so that this devilish energy cannot, poke its head or try and feed or prey on what you've achieved for yourself. And again, it's a very similar message to the last reading that I did with the King of Wands. Not the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles. It's like people are going to see you once you're in that energy. People are only seeing the highlight. People are only seeing the end product. They're not seeing the entire journey that you had to go through. And so that requires you to have strong boundaries so that they don't just feel the need to just come in and slip things in there or try and take. Because you've already had to experience the lack and the scarcity. This is in your past energy, okay? This is no longer a part of your lesson. This is no longer a part of your path. And that's why the boundaries have to be very strong at this time. I'm going to pull a final outcome card, Pisces. This is very straightforward. There's no need to clarify. This is a major cycle coming to an end. And the cycle of your abundance, of your prosperity is coming into fruition at this time. And so there's only one transition from the 9 to the Queen, okay? And that requires surrender. Holy Spirit, can we get a final outcome card for this reading? Can we get a final outcome card for this reading? Knight of Swords, Two of Wands. The Emperor in the reverse. Yes, this devilish energy is an energy of trying to control, okay? So some of you have a masculine figure in your life. Doesn't mean that it has to be a man or a father or like it's just a masculine energy, okay? That tries to control or tries to make you feel like you need them for survival. It's like you need them for money, you need them for resources. Maybe it's a boss, maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's a job, or somebody that tries to withhold money. I don't know what this is, but it's coming in as a masculine figure in your life that the longer you stay connected to them, it's like they make you think that you need them to survive, but being connected to them is what keeps you in this place of lack, okay? And so there's a big release, Pisces. There's a big release. And this energy has come in 3 times in the last 3 readings. Is again, the devil has this light being tied to him, and here she's cut the ties, okay? So for some of you, this is kind of specific. There's a masculine energy that you're leaving behind or that you're cutting yourself loose and free from. And that's this Emperor in the reverse and this devil, okay? They made you think that you needed them for survival, for money, for resources, whether it's a boss, a father, a masculine figure in your life. And the thing is that it's kind of ironic because being tied to them, they made you think that you needed them for survival, but being tied to them is what kept you in lack. Okay, so you're coming to that realization that as you cut free from this energy, your abundance and your life start to flourish. Everything starts to move in the best, in your direction, best case scenario. Being tied to them, it was like they were draining your energy. They were kind of like feeding off of your good luck and your good fortune because it's not in the cards for them. Wow, Pisces. Wow, this is the reason why you have to have strong boundaries. Okay, this is exactly what it is. This is the final push. That's the final push, Pisces, is cutting yourself free from that energy and having your boundaries strong because you're coming into your abundance and they want a piece of that. Pisces, it's so twisted. It's so twisted because what kept you in their hold, okay, because this light being is tied down to this devil and this Emperor in the reverse, what kept you in their hold is them either withholding resources or making you think that you needed them for survival, okay, because this is what this energy of lack is. But the fact is that it's that being tied to them is what kept you in this energy of lack. And as you make this final push of surrendering and cutting yourself free, you tap into your abundance. So if money and resources or opportunities had dried out in your life, it wasn't because of you. It was because of this energy that was around you. And there's a need, Pisces. Wow. Okay. Oh my God, Pisces. This is exactly what it is. It's like they were feeding off of your dream and your illusion and your magic. This is what kept you guys tied. It's like you're holding on to your star, but they're holding on to you, holding on to your star. It's like that's how they draw in the magic. That's how they draw in your power. This just took a turn, Pisces. I didn't expect this to happen. And again, this is very specific. So I don't think it's going to resonate for everyone, but this feels like a masculine figure in your life whether a father, a boss, a coworker, someone that is linked to resources, to money, into the material realm, maybe even a Capricorn or an earth sign, I don't know. Could have even been a Libra. I don't know why I'm getting some air energy, but it doesn't have to be, it's just the archetype. But it's twisted, Pisces, because the reason you stayed in this connection, or the reason you felt bound or tied to this connection, was because of resources or money or something material, and they made you think that you needed them for that, and that's how they kept a hold on you. But as you get out of this waiting period in your life, you're cutting yourself free from those ties, and you're moving straight into your abundance. So being tied to them is actually what kept you in scarcity. So it's so twisted the way that they, I don't know, this is a manipulator, Pisces. This is a master manipulator. And I don't even have the magician here, but it feels like the magician's energy, the magician in the reverse. So this is key information, Pisces, because what I'm getting here is, as you cut yourself free, okay, as you can see the tie, she's cut herself free, and she makes that final push and sets her boundaries very strong so that this energy can't come through. It's like you have to run forward and never look back, okay? And I don't know what this means. I don't know what this means. Like, this is now coming specific. Like, you are going forward, and there's, like, as soon as you cut yourself free, for some of you, you've already cut yourself free, there's a need to move forward and not look back. Because this energy is going to try to attach to what you've achieved, because you're coming straight into your abundance, straight into your prosperity, straight into your money. And being connected to them was what kept you in lack. So as you cut yourself free from them, that's the final push. That's how you reach your abundance, Pisces. And there's a need to move forward and never look back. Okay? And I don't know what this means. I don't know if it just means that you don't allow them to have a hold on you in your life anymore. If it means having your boundaries so strong. If it means just moving forward with your plans. I don't know what it means. But again, with these energies here, it's a masculine figure in your life. And now that's specific. So I don't know if it's going to resonate for everyone, but this message is coming in for someone. Okay? And Nine of Swords is the final outcome card. Cut yourself free, cut yourself loose, and don't look back. Move forward. There's nothing back there for you but this Devil and this Five of Pentacles. Okay? Your future is here. Forward, the Queen of Pentacles. That's exactly what you're moving into. Okay? So if you feel called to leave your comfort zone, if you feel called to make this leap, to make this move, Pisces, it is in your highest alignment. It is in your highest alignment. But as you achieve the Queen of Pentacles, because this is literally your next step. You go from the 9 to the Queen. Have your boundaries very strong, because these energies are always going to be around you. Does that make sense? Like, it's like once you defeat them in a challenge, it's like you're already above it, right? Like, you already overcame it. But it doesn't mean that they're not going to want to poke their head around and test you from time to time. And that's why the boundaries have to be strong, Pisces. And also what I'm getting is that the reason they were even able to attach to you in the first place is because your boundaries were not strong enough. Your boundaries were down, Pisces. And that's the reason why they were even able to get a hold of you in the first place. That's specific, Pisces. I'm pretty sure that's not going to resonate for everyone. I don't feel the need to clarify. It's pretty straight up. Wow, Pisces. This 9 of Wands is conclusions, and also look at the moon. It's number 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. There's an ending. There's finally an ending to having to be in this wounded warrior kind of energy. That's what it is. This surrender allows you to shift. Like, this transition is not going to be violent or drastic. It's not going to be like this abrupt kind of change. Like, it's going to be very smooth. It's going to be smooth like water. Okay? So it's kind of like a surrendering process to the universe. But it requires you to have strong boundaries to everyone around you and everyone outside of you. But it is a conclusion, Pisces. So this waiting period is coming to an end. This wounded warrior energy is coming to an end. And this transition from the 9 to the Queen of Pentacles is going to be smooth. Okay? It's going to be smooth like water. It's going to flow like water. It's not going to be abrupt. It's not going to be violent. It's not going to be like a tower moment. No, it's going to be a very smooth transition as you surrender. But yes, Pisces, the reason why this Devil was even in your energy, and this Devil is also coming up as the Emperor in the reverse, is because your walls were down. You didn't have strong enough boundaries. And that's going to be key information for this next cycle, because you go from the 9 to the Queen of Pentacles, and the only thing that is going to keep them from leeching onto you or preying on what you've now achieved is your boundaries, Pisces. So hold on strong to those boundaries, Pisces. don't fear leaving your comfort zone, because there's a need to move forward and not look back. Because everything that you want is right in front of you, okay? Look at this. This is what you're moving forward, okay? You're leaving this wounded warrior energy and you're moving straight into the Queen of Pentacles. So there's a need to move forward and not look back, okay? I don't know who this is in your life. For some of you, it could have been a boss, a job, a contract, a father. It's just like, it feels like a masculine energy, because we also have the Emperor in the reverse. So it's toxic, okay? It's toxic, it's controlling, and for some of you, it feels like they made you think like you needed them to survive. But in reality, that's what was keeping you poor and in lack. Yes, Pisces. This is all I have, Pisces. I don't need to clarify anymore. It's just move forward and don't look back. There's nothing back here for you. You've already overcome this lesson in your life, and you're moving straight into your abundance, Pisces. You don't have to share that, okay? Don't make them feel like you owe them anything, because these ties can talk about contracts, even like family members making you feel like you owe them something, work contracts, a boss, co-workers, some kind of contract, some kind of ties, whatever this is, that's what this represents, okay? But the Hangman in the reverse is cutting yourself free from those ties and finally moving forward and not looking back, because everything is in front of you. You're going from the 9 to the Queen, Pisces. This is all I have for your reading, Pisces. Blessings. Take care.